Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. This, in the American M6 Tier 6 heavy tank, is fleetfleet. He's not really a World of Tanks player. Well, I mean he is, obviously, here he is playing World of Tanks. But what I mean by that is, he's a very new World of Tanks player. He's not new to wargaming titles. He actually came to World of Tanks from World of Warships, where he's a battleship main, which probably explains his interest in heavy tanks. And he's gotten as far as the T-29 Heavy at Tier 7, although I don't believe he's fully managed to unlock all the equipment modules for it yet. He has done that for the M6 here, although he only has a 1-point crew, and the only actual tanks that he's kept a hold of, along with the T-29 and the M6 here, are the M10 Wolverine, the M24 Chaffee, and the M4A1 Sherman. And that's it. Those are the only tanks he owns. So, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that nobody is ever going to accuse fleetfleet here of being an experienced World of Tanks pro. At least not this year. Give it some time though, and well, you never know. So, he's top tier. This is a tier 6 battle here on the Muir of Anchor map. It's encounter mode, so that means there's just the one cap circle, although in encounter mode the caps take roughly twice as long to actually flip. And that's the cap circle right up ahead. Oh, there are 3 artillery in play on each team in this battle. That's going to be important. Observe the friendly Jinu up ahead. Very unlike most of the other Japanese heavies, like the OI up there, in that it doesn't have any armour. Also, the agility sucks, but the gun is excellent. However, he just had the misfortune of probably, sort of, almost being the first one spotted. Or at least the most obvious target spotted early on that is really easy for artillery to hit. And just look at all the fun this guy's having. Yeah. Fleets wants none of that shit, thank you very much. You know, I think... Okay, hear me out. I'm going to say that in many ways, that Junu is a lot like the M6. Mobility, not great. Armour, very not great. Gun, excellent. At least if you're using the 90mm, which, since he has fully upgraded his M6, he is using the 90mm. You definitely do want to unlock the 90mm gun on the M6 before going to the T-29. You don't have to. You can skip the turret and 90mm gun on the M6 and go straight to the T-29 from the 76mm gun. I don't recommend it. You really don't want to be playing a tier 7 heavy tank with a 76mm gun with 115 damage per shot and 128mm of penetration. Let me just emphasise the important part there. You don't want to be fighting tier 9s with a gun that has 128mm of penetration. And that is the situation that you will find yourself in if you skip the turret and 90mm gun on the M6 and just get to the T-29 as quickly as you possibly can. For your own sanity, do not do it. In fact, a lot of people exclusively use the 90mm gun on the T-29 from the M6 here, because it does have substantially higher damage per minute and is more accurate than the 105mm gun on the T-29. It just doesn't have the penetration, so you will be spending a lot of money on gold ammo. As, completely unintentionally, is fleet here. He fat-fingered the APCR ammo earlier on. Well, he actually switched to it deliberately, but then in the heat of the battle he forgot, so this is going to be an expensive battle for him. Oh, the other reason you want to unlock the 90mm gun on the M6 before going to the T-29 is that if you don't and you're sailing... World of Warships player here. If you don't and you're playing the T-29 with a 76mm gun, you do kind of look a bit like you're driving a tank around that's got a beach ball with a toothpick sticking out of it, mounted on top of the hull. Oh, took a hit there. His tracks ate it. Can't say the same for the enemy OI. That's pulled a kill back, although the enemy team very quickly, once again, go 2 kills ahead. But more importantly, he just got spotted. And this is a triple artillery match. And he's a very, very big and obvious target. So, time to hug a wall. So, enemy team are once again 2 kills ahead, but there's not that much of a hit point difference between the two teams at all. So, superficially at least, things do look reasonably stable. But if you look at the map, and there's some enemy activity down there to the southeast, but if you look at the map, you will note that while the team do pull a couple of kills back there, the entire team is wedged into this bottom southwest corner of the map. So they basically have no map control. And while it looks like there's a reasonably formidable force holding off the flank down there to the southeast, actually most of that's artillery. And it's also where the most recent casualties are occurring, with the enemy team going 1 kill ahead before the friendly Nassau, also kind of down there to the southwest, pulls a kill back and equalises it once again. Oh, there goes the enemy M6, that's good news. Again, they're 1 kill up. But again, he got spotted, and again, it's a triple artillery match. But he's also looking at the spread of forces down there to the southwest and thinking that is not looking good at all. While we're on the subject of artillery, note the friendly bishop player there. Yeah, him. That guy's going to be important. The T-40's taken a beating from something that's got him spotted, and judging by the rate at which he was taking hits there, it's more than one tank. Also, he's caught the attention of enemy artillery, which is rarely fun for anyone, but it's particularly unamusing if you're in an open-topped tank destroyer. So, fleet's fleet to the rescue. Hopefully, I mean that's the intention. Okay, you got spotted. Yep. Okay, there's a cruiser who really should have known better, but he's taken hits from plenty of other enemy tanks as well, not all of whom are spotted. Then of course there's the inevitable artillery fire, some of which is actually kind of effective, but that's kind of the reason why he came down here. I mean, nobody wants to get shot at by artillery, but it's taken the pressure off the T-40, and having people shoot at him is revealing their positions, allowing allies to maybe, hopefully, kill them. I mean, there's definitely some exchanges of kills going on here, but it mostly appears to be in favour of the enemy team there once again. 2 kills ahead. See, even if you can't spot the enemies, even if you can't troll them into shooting at you and giving their position away, paying attention to when and in what circumstances the Sixth Sense icon goes off can give you some pretty good intelligence on exactly who's in what position with what line of sight. Now, the enemy team have managed to get into the cap circle, but it's an encounter battle, so it's going to take 3 minutes, slightly more than 3 minutes actually, for a single tank to cap. And at the moment, there's only the one of them in there. So, Fleets is in no rush whatsoever. Although at the same time, I mean, the tanks that he spotted down here, by virtue of getting them to shoot at him, and the ones that were shooting at him are generally not the kind of things that are going to be too keen to push a flank, especially if they think there's an M6 waiting for them to do that. So I think he was hoping to have the... it's a bit like the Tirpitz. Oh yeah, we're full of the warships analogies today. I think he was hoping that the threat of an M6 on this flank would have been enough to dissuade anybody from trying to push around here. Unfortunately, he did get detected repositioning back to this end, and it looks like the T-40's bugged out as well. So that's kind of unfortunate. He did manage to kill the cruiser though. The thing is, 9 kills to 11, there just aren't enough of them left to defend everywhere at once, so you kind of have to pick a side. And most of the spotted targets, at least, are all the way up here. Crap, there goes the Matilda. There's now only 3 of them left. The good news, and there's not a lot of good news, but you have to take it where you can find it, is that there is no longer anybody in the cap circle. Oh, good hit. Not a kill, but enough of a hit to ensure that it could be finished off by Sandhammer in the Bishop. It looks like the T-40's gotten spotted. Yep, he's been taken out. However, he did manage to take out the Berser in return, and at least 2 of the artillery had just fired, although one of them appears to have an extremely fast reload. And, yep, time to hug the building. And maybe finish off that guy while his tracks are still down. And that's kill number 4. They're still outnumbered by 1. And, yeah. Isn't it? Triple artillery games, they're just so much fun, aren't they? Now, I expect that Fleets is definitely not enjoying scouting for artillery in an M6 for Sandhammer and the Bishop. Because, I mean, that's just death by 1,000 cuts, isn't it? He's prepared to do it, though, but Sandhammer back there has just made a much, much better suggestion. He'll get in the cap circle, which means the enemy team are going to have to come looking. They can't just sit back, camp in their bushes at the back of the map, and take pot shots at fleetfleet here, shaving off 140 hit points at a time as he blunders around the map trying to find hidden artillery. The ball is now very firmly in their court. As you can hear, at least one of them is trying to bombard the cap circle, but, well, I mean, it might work. You might get lucky, but you generally don't win games relying on luck. Oh, spotted. Yeah, there he is. I'm pretty sure the artillery weren't expecting to get outflanked by an M6. And I think he's just realised he's got the wrong ammo loaded. Spent the entire game firing a PCR. That is definitely going to come back to bite him in the arse in the post-battle results. I'm curious to see how much it's going to cost him, actually, because 90mm ammo, even gold ammo, isn't that expensive. Then again, it is only tier 6, so you don't exactly make a huge amount of money as well. There goes one of the guerrillas. Where? Oh, there's the other one. Oh, no, it's the AMX. Oh, it's the guy firing the gold high explosive. And Sandhammer has successfully defended himself. That was quite a partnership between the two of them at the end of the battle there. Fleet's in the M6 and Sandhammer in the Bishop. And trust me, that is going to be reflected in the scores. But while this is only a second-class mastery badge, because the M6 really is that good, it's still a Pascucci's medal, a high caliber and a Top Gun for a guy for whom this is the most advanced tank that he owns in World of Tanks. Well, I mean, he has the T-29 at tier 7, but the M6 is the most advanced, fully unlocked tank that he has in the game. And I loved how, I mean, even though he's clearly not experienced at World of Tanks, you can tell that he's experienced at this kind of game. You could see his thought processes as he was playing. And you can tell that he's only going to get better as he learns the intricacies of each map and the ins and outs of each tank that he's playing on them. Unsurprisingly, both he and Sandhammer in the Bishop were the top 2 on the team on experience earned. But surprisingly, despite the fact that he forgot he was firing gold ammo for most of the battle, even without a premium account, he would have still made a profit. I suspect this may be one of the reasons why the M6 is as popular as it is at tier 6 amongst veteran players, because it's not just a pretty good tank with a very, very good gun. It's a pretty good tank with a very, very good gun that honestly punches above its weight for its tier, that also allows you to run a basically full gold ammo loadout without actually ending up owing the game money at the end of the battle, if you're any good, which probably explains why a performance like that from a relatively new player was only actually worth a second-class mastery badge in this extremely popular tier 6 heavy tank. Well, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed watching that partnership there between Fleet in the M6 and Sandhammer in the Bishop. Well done to both of them. And I feel reasonably confident in saying that if Fleet continues playing like this, he's only going to get better. And I certainly wish him all the best in the future. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.